It breaks my heart. I am so proud of the girls. There are a handful of girls now who are suing their state's attorney general and the high school sports governing body that has allowed this to happen because of their discriminatory policies that exclude women from the women's category. Cannot believe this is happening.
Yeah, I have never seen an organization more committed to self-imploding than the WNBA. A few weeks ago, I made this video highlighting how it appears Brittney Griner said bleep white girl after fouling out in a game against Indiana Fever, the team that Caitlin Clark plays for. Some people like Jamel Hill, former ESPN host, says that no, she didn't say bleep white girl. She says bleep whack call. To which she then went on to call me a grifter for even pointing this out, but besides the point. You can watch and make up your own mind as to what it appears.
Have you ever seen an organization handed a winning lottery ticket only to light it on fire? Right now, the WNBA is standing on a mountain of gold thanks to a once-in-a-generation talent who is shattering every record in the book. But instead of cashing in, the league seems bizarrely committed to its own self-destruction. It's a story of jealousy, hypocrisy, and a cover-up that has exposed the deep-seated problems hiding just beneath the surface of professional sports. And it all started with a few seconds of blurry footage that the league desperately wants you to forget.
Fox News, I ain't never seen this lady a day in my life. Why'd y'all hire this woman?
The USA basketball chair actually said it would be irresponsible to put Caitlin Clark on the U.S. women's Olympic basketball team, all while putting Brittney Griner on the team. I think with the extreme controversy that she brings.
Let me jump in, Riley, because you say it a lot there. I'm not sure what you mean by the controversy that Brittney Griner brings to the game. I mean, that's kind of not fair to say without explanation.
Well, I mean, I think given everything that happened overseas, given that she was put in jail, I mean, the controversy is certainly there, whether we want it there or not.
Not her fault and wrongly accused. Let's be fair. That's Riley. I like you a lot too. That's not right. She was wrongfully accused. That is not fair to bring that up. So we're gonna delete that. Okay, let's you and I continue.
She literally tried to tell Riley Gaines that Brittney Griner was unlawfully detained. What are you saying? Fox, get this lady off y'all show.
The scene was tense. The fourth quarter of a game between the Indiana Fever and the Atlanta Dream. The Fever's rookie phenom, Caitlin Clark, was on her way to another victory. That's when Atlanta's Brittney Griner fouled out, her frustration boiling over as she walked to the bench. A camera caught her muttering something under her breath. In an instant, the clip went viral and the internet exploded. To countless viewers, her words were clear and deeply troubling. It appeared she had called Caitlin Clark a derogatory name, targeting her race. But almost immediately, a counter-narrative emerged, pushed by sports commentators and league apologists. They claimed she didn't say that at all, but was simply complaining about a whack call from the referee. The league had its excuse, and it quickly fell silent, hoping the story would just fade away. But what happened next would expose a level of hypocrisy that left everyone speechless.
Thursday night, Indiana Fever and Atlanta Dream played. Indiana Fever is where Caitlin Clark plays. Atlanta Dream is where Brittney Griner plays. Now you tell me what it looks like Brittney Griner is saying here. For a little bit of context, this was in the fourth quarter after Brittney Griner fouled out against Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever would go on to win by 5. Now I'm going to tell you what I think she said. Let's play it back. Looks to me like she is saying trash and then calling Caitlin Clark a bleep white girl. Just a reminder, this is who Joe Biden traded for the Russian merchant of death. So many WNBA players hate Caitlin Clark so much when she is the best thing that could have happened to the league. And she's not the best thing that happened to the league because she's white. It's because she's a good player. It's because she's the best player. Now, imagine if Caitlin Clark said the inverse of this. It would be reprehensible, condemned, and understandably so. You've got all of these individual players. You have sports commentators, people like Ryan Clark, who constantly tout of the racial tensions that exist in the league, when in reality, they are the ones perpetuating and amplifying these racial tensions with their anti-white hatred for Caitlin Clark.
Just days before the Griner incident, the WNBA had launched a full-scale public investigation. The reason? Another player, Angel Reese, had made claims about being harassed by fans. The league issued statements, dedicated resources, and made a grand show of taking the allegations seriously. But after all the drama, the investigation found no evidence to support the claims. It was a phantom controversy. Yet, when faced with actual video evidence of one of its most famous players making a potentially inflammatory statement, the WNBA did nothing. No investigation, no statement, no accountability. The message was loud and clear. There was one set of rules for controversies that fit their preferred narrative, and another set for those that didn't. The double standard was so obvious that it was impossible to ignore. And that's when a new, powerful voice entered the fight, a voice the league was not prepared to handle. That voice belonged to Riley Gaines. For those who don't know her, Gaines is a former champion swimmer who became a household name for an entirely different reason. She was one of the athletes forced to compete against biological male Leah Thomas, and she had the courage to speak out when almost everyone else was silent. She's faced down angry mobs, been vilified by the media, and stood her ground in the fight for fairness in women's sports. Her personal history gave her a unique authority on this subject. She knows exactly what it looks like when a sports organization betrays its female athletes to protect a political agenda. When she saw the WNBA protecting Brittney Griner while simultaneously allowing Caitlin Clark to be targeted, she recognized the pattern immediately. And she was about to drop a nuclear bomb on the league's carefully constructed wall of silence.
Culture that prioritizes protecting certain narratives over basic fairness and accountability.
I'm not certain what Griner says. There is one way to find out. Ask Brittney Griner. However, no one has done that except for Outkick. It's been over 2 weeks since Griner said this. Instead, the WNBA was investigating a bogus race hoax made up by Angel Reese about Indiana Fever fans. And I say bogus because they found no evidence that supports Angel Reese's claims. So we at Outkick applied for media credentials to cover Brittney Griner's team, the Atlanta Dreams, game on June 6th. To which, shocker, they denied us. We've never had trouble getting media credentials with any professional sports league in the past, but wouldn't you know, now they suddenly have very limited space, which is total baloney. They just want to suppress any sort of uncomfortable inquiries from media. Regardless, we at Outkick are going to keep asking the tough questions, the questions that people want the answer to. And if you do call yourself a reporter or a journalist from an outlet like ESPN or any other sports outlet for that matter, and you have access to these settings and you're not asking those questions, you're really no reporter or journalist at all, at least not one with.
But ignoring a problem is one thing. Actively silencing those who ask questions is another. As the controversy swirled, the media outlet Outkick decided to do what journalists are supposed to do: get answers. They applied for media credentials to attend an Atlanta Dream game with the specific intention of asking Brittney Griner directly what she said. It was a straightforward journalistic request. The league's response was a stunning display of censorship. Outkick's credentials were denied. The WNBA, a professional sports league that depends on media coverage, blocked a news organization from asking a legitimate question about a major controversy. They claimed they had limited space, a laughable excuse that no one believed. The league wasn't just hoping the story would go away, it was actively suppressing it. This move proved that they had something to hide, and it only added fuel to the fire that Riley Gaines was about to ignite. To understand the full weight of this controversy, you have to remember who Brittney Griner is. This isn't just any athlete. This is the woman the United States government moved heaven and earth to bring home from a Russian prison. She was arrested for carrying vape cartridges with cannabis oil, a serious crime in Russia. In a high-stakes diplomatic maneuver, the U.S. traded her for one of the world's most dangerous criminals, Victor Bout, an infamous arms dealer known as the Merchant of Death. This man was responsible for fueling wars and arming terrorists across the globe. America traded that monster to bring Brittney Griner home. Given that incredible level of support, many felt her subsequent actions, from kneeling during the national anthem to the alleged comments against another American athlete, were a slap in the face to the country that saved her. This context makes the WNBA's decision to protect her at all costs even more baffling.
Good morning, Brittney. I'm Bill Roden from ESPN and Skating. It's really great to see you. It's good to know the prayers have been answered. The question, you've always represented so much throughout your entire career about access and, being able to do stuff. And I hate to put one more thing on your plate, but there are a number of states who are aggressively moving to prevent transgender athletes playing. And I was wondering, again, I hate to put one more thing on your plate, but in terms of on your radar, where is that? You're going to have a tremendous platform, but where is that going to be on your radar in terms of advocating for, athletes, all athletes, transgender athletes, to be able to play?
Oh, I mean, that ranks high on the list of things that I'll be fighting for and speaking up against. Everyone deserves the right to play. Everyone deserves the right to come here, sit in these seats, and feel safe, and not feel like there's a threat or they can't be who they are, or like it's just all eyes on them. I think it's a crime, honestly, to separate someone for any reason. So I definitely will be speaking up against that legislation and those laws that are trying to be passed, for sure.
The irony here is almost painful. The WNBA is currently experiencing a boom unlike anything in its history, and it's almost entirely due to one person, Caitlin Clark. Her arrival has been a cultural phenomenon. Ticket prices have skyrocketed. Arenas are selling out. TV ratings have shattered all previous records. She is single-handedly making the league more relevant and profitable than ever before. She is their golden goose. Yet, instead of protecting their most valuable asset, the WNBA and many of its veteran players appear to resent her success. They seem more interested in appeasing the jealousies of a few established stars than in capitalizing on this unprecedented wave of popularity. It's a strategy of pure self-sabotage. Riley Gaines put it best when she said she had never seen an organization more committed to self-imploding. She's not wrong. The league is actively working against its own interests, alienating millions of new fans who have tuned in to watch a generational star, only to see her be treated unfairly by the very organization she is enriching. What Riley Gaines managed to do was connect all the dots for the public. She exposed the hypocrisy of the WNBA's selective investigations. She highlighted the absurdity of the league's media blackout. She reminded everyone of the incredible sacrifices made to bring Brittney Griner home. And she shined a harsh spotlight on the league's bizarre and self-destructive crusade against its own biggest star. This was never just about a single comment in a single game. It became a story about fairness, gratitude, and institutional integrity. It exposed a culture within the WNBA that seems more concerned with protecting certain narratives than promoting the sport of women's basketball itself. The WNBA is now at a critical crossroads. Thanks to Riley Gaines, its hypocrisy is on full display for the world to see. The league can either acknowledge its failures, abandon its obvious double standards, and start treating all its players with basic fairness, or it can continue down this path of self-destruction. It can continue to protect certain players from scrutiny while allowing its biggest star to be undermined. But if it chooses the latter, it will confirm what many already suspect, that the organization is more interested in ideology than in success. The future of the league hangs in the balance, and millions of fans are watching to see if the WNBA will finally wake up, or if it will complete its mission of self-implosion, leaving a trail of squandered potential in its wake.
A lot of people are talking about the Olympics, but not for the right reasons. So let me shed some light into a story that not too many people are talking about. I'm sure a majority of you know who Riley Gaines is and who is Brittney Griner. So Riley Gaines laid into Brittney Griner for kneeling during the national anthem. You don't have to sing or anything, but you need to show some respect for the country that saved you from a Russian gulag. True. If y'all forgot, Brittney Griner was a 32-year-old that was arrested in Moscow on February 17, accused of entering Russia with a vape cartridge containing cannabis oil, which is illegal in Russia. She was sentenced to 9 years in Russian labor. Obviously, this was a whole political thing. This was immediately after Russia invaded Ukraine. However, America fought for her and got her back in a one-on-one exchange with another prisoner. But that prisoner is one of the biggest arms dealers ever, Victor Bout. So you bring something illegal to a country, that country arrests you, and then America does everything to try and get you back here just for you to kneel during the national anthem? That's